past at this meeting is get a little bit of perspective from a couple of great trading partners for GFS. One of our goals in planning this meeting was to underscore for you how GFS is different from our competitors and indeed from most other companies, even outside our industry. And rather than me standing up here, or us standing up here and telling you that, we think it'd be good to go right to the source and ask both a valued customer and a trusted supplier to tell us about it in their own words. There's nothing like an outside perspective to clarify your thinking a little bit. So, it's my pleasure to introduce our first guest, Tom Walter. Tom is the CEO of Chicago area-based Tasty Catering. Tom has been a food service and real estate entrepreneur for 40 years. During this time period, he has started 27 businesses and acquired 3 others. He's still active as a principal in 7 of those organizations, and 4 of those are startups by Tasty Catering staff. Tasty Catering has won numerous local and national awards, including Illinois Meeting and Events Best Caterer in 2010, number 1 Best Place to Work in Illinois in 2008 and 2009, Wall Street Journal's Top 35 Places to Work in 2008 and 2009, and Inc. Magazine's Top 20 Workplaces in 2010. Tom also serves on the Marketing Advisory Board at DePaul University and the University of Illinois at Chicago's Institute for Entrepreneurial Studies, and is a member of the Chicago Area Entrepreneurship Hall of Fame. All that to say, please join me in a GFS welcome for Tom Walter.
Well, I'm honored to be here today, and I'm very grateful that the accounts receivable department didn't greet me. I was utterly shocked when Peter Yule and Barb asked me to participate today, because I realized how prestigious and what a great event this is. I certainly am not a multi-hundred-million-dollar company, but we do about 10,000 events a year, produce 10,000 events a year. And I was asked to specifically state some points about what separates GFS from competitors. I would say what separates GFS from every vendor that I've ever dealt with. In the 40 years that I've been a business owner, I've never met a company like GFS. And what makes GFS special is not the company, but the people. Galen, Patty Sullivan, Bill Balke, so glad to see Bill today. Haven't seen him since he's moved to Grand Rapids, only seen him twice. Peter Yule, Barb Bernicke, hope I don't mispronounce these names. Hans Hansen, Jim and Dan Gordon, Barry, Larry Erickson. These are people that I know just by mentioning their, just thinking of Gordon Food Service, I think of these people. I don't think of the company. Peter was talking to me before this about the event, and I was thinking of the company colors of Gordon Food Service, and I didn't even remember what the colors were, but I know those blue shirts, and that's what appeals to me. The humanistic quality of Gordon Food Service exceeds any other company that I've ever bought from. I don't know our Cisco representative. Cisco does some selling to us, but I do know that she avoids making eye contact with me and walks past me every time that she's in the building. I think her name's Brenda or Sue or something. But I'll tell you, Michael McConey is our representative. I think you call it a CDS. But here's an example of what separates your company from every other company I've done business with. Michael knows every one of our chefs by name. He also knows how old their children are and what sports they play. Michael knows every one of our salespeople. And every time he's in the building, he goes into the sales office and talks to them. We have a 62-year-old retired banker who used to be my banker, who complained about my money. So the accounts were never in balance, and then there was overdraft fees, and this was before computerized balancing. And I said to her one day, why don't you come in and do it? I can't handle this. So she came in to work for us, and she's very particular about the money. She's 62 years old and takes care of her 95-year-old father has never been married. And on the days that Michael comes into the building, she sits up, smiles, and looks pretty for Michael. Thank you, Michael. It's glad to see her smile. She always comments about Mr. McConey's shirt, Mr. McConey's tie. What a nice combination that is. But most importantly for Gordon Food Service, Mr. McConey is the first guy to get paid. No matter what the temperature is, no matter what the conditions of our company is, Gordon Food Service gets paid because of Michael's personal touch. I asked him one time, why do you spend so much time with the sales staff? You know, we have some very attractive young ladies there, and I like spending time with them. But Michael said, those are my salespeople. That's my sales team. I stopped and thought about it, and I said, how obvious. I asked our team before I left for Grand Rapids today, I asked them yesterday, I said, tell me some things from your point of view about Gordon Food Service. And Alfredo Velazquez, who's been one of our culinarians for over 19 years, said to me, they have the best drivers of anybody that delivers product to us. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Cisco, etc. The best drivers. When it's time for Alfredo to make a decision on where he's going to make his buys, who does he want to see at 5 o'clock in the morning? Who would think? Gordon Food Service thinks about that. The differentiators that exist as the world becomes commoditized, as we become more and more compacted and focused on price, the difference becomes human capital. It becomes your brand image. Your marketing department, I read some of your marketing themes for this year. The marketing department is focused on brand awareness, what your capabilities are, what your capacities are, but the opening film, the part that I really liked, showed the people working and the comments from the people. I walked around today and observed people smiling, laughing, enjoying each other's company, and eye contact. As I was speaking to Bill Balke, David walked by and announced his son had just received a full scholarship to, I believe, Western Michigan. As he walked away, Bill said, left-handed pitcher, 90 miles an hour. I said, whoa, that's good. That's caring. That shows there's caring. It's not just a person, it's a human being. The human capital element in the United States right now is at an all-time low. And it's all our fault. It's all my fault. I have a 401k, and I'm focused on generating the greatest return I can get on my 401k. So I want productivity out of the people that take care of my investments. But really, it's all my fault that Wall Street happened. But it's also part of my investment in Gordon Food Service that you're here and that you're such wonderful people. Gordon Food Service focuses on who they hire. They focus very carefully on hiring the best. And you're hired based on your culture, your character, and not your ability to impress. And I know this because I've talked to Hans about this in great detail, and I've talked to other people in the Gordon Food Service system because I always wondered what made your company special. And it's that human element. I ran into Dan Hart one time, and he was talking to Michaels, Catering by Michaels, which is a large competitor of ours, but Stuart Glass is a very good friend of mine, and I said, why don't you buy from Gordon Food Service? And here's an example of why Stuart started to buy from Dan, and I haven't seen Dan today, and I don't know how much he's buying from GFS, but he's a fairly large company in Chicago, catering company. And I'm standing there talking to Stuart one day in his building. It was after the Super Bowl, and the Cisco guy walked in and said, hey, what's up? And walked right past Stuart to talk to the chef. And I said, Stuart, who is that guy? He said, it's my Cisco rep. He didn't stop and say, good morning, Stuart? Good morning, Mr. Glass? No. So as he sat down talking to David, I said, I hope he won in the Super Bowl yesterday, or your pricing structure is going to the other side of the chart. And Stuart looked at me and said, wow, do you worry about those things? I said, no, I have Mike McConey. And that, where the Better Business Bureau says, the ideal ethical marketplace exists where the buyers and sellers trust each other. I trust GFS. I don't trust your competitors. I don't trust them because, thank you. And that applause is directed at you, because you make us